Guys, Alex here. Today we're going to talk about a new WGU degree. So it seems WGU is coming out with these new degrees constantly now. So they've released 2 degrees in back-to-back weeks. A couple weeks ago, they released a communications degree, and this week they released one of my favorite degrees at any school, which is a user experience degree. Now, going over this degree, I'm still very excited, although looking at the curriculum, it seems this is a pure user experience degree when I would prefer more of a user experience slash user design degree. It seems this one is much more heavy on user experience, and it doesn't go over user design as much as you would want, but it's still a great degree. And you can always get a master's on top of this. So, what is a user experience degree? Basically, this goes over the user's experience, and it's usually tech related, although this one is listed under the business degree section, and it goes over some more business type stuff. So is this a true tech user experience degree? Not quite, but it does have relevant tech classes for user experience. And there is some design classes in there as well. We will go over the curriculum. But I am a huge fan of user experience degrees. Now, traditionally, what is this degree called? Traditionally, this degree is usually called human-computer interaction. And in human-computer interaction degrees are awesome. And basically, user experience is what some schools call it. Like if their curriculum, the way I can explain it is if their curriculum is not as great as like a human-computer interaction degree would be, they kind of default into calling it like a user experience degree. So I'm not saying like it's not as good as a like human computer interaction degree, but if you look at a human computer interaction degree from a like top school, like the curriculum is like amazing. Like I think UC Irvine has one, and there's tons of other great schools as well that have a great human computer interaction curriculum. But this WGU curriculum is still pretty decent. It still goes over a lot of good courses. And the great thing about this, though, is now you can get a WGU user experience degree. And this degree is highly hackable. You can do this in one term. And then you could put a master's user experience on top of this degree as well. And I forget who has a master's in user experience, but there's plenty of masters in human-computer interaction online you could find. I think Arizona State University might have a master's in user experience. I would have to double check. It's either a bachelor's or a master's, but we will double check and see if they do have a master's in that. But if you add a master's degree on top of this one, and you can add a master's in a tech discipline as well. You can add a master's in computer science, a master's in some kind of tech discipline with this bachelor's would be amazing. You'll be able to get some like user design / coding hybrid type of jobs. You can also apply for straight software engineering jobs. You can apply for straight user experience, UX design type of jobs. For full transparency, getting a UX/UI designer job, like if you go to Indeed.com or whatever job search engine, LinkedIn, UX/UI designer, you type in that job, there's going to be tons of jobs. But unfortunately, this job has become quite saturated to the point a master's is the entry level for the most part. So if you do get this degree, you might need to add a master's in human-computer interaction or a master's in user experience. I also think a master's in any kind of tech discipline would be fine as well, And some companies might prefer that, right? I think some companies actually prefer to see a different bachelor's and master's. So it's like if you had a bachelor's in user experience and then a master's in like computer science, I think you might even get preference over like other people with a UI, UX combo of both, So that versatility basically. Do you need a master's in UX, UI design from a knowledge standpoint? No. It's become saturated. So it's become this new human resource checkbox entry level thing. So that is one thing you might have to overcome is a lot of times you do need a master's degree in this field where data is very similar too, right? If you want to become a data engineer, a lot of times you need a master's degree. You want to be a data scientist, etc. Software engineer and also working in IT are two of the fields that you can definitely get in with just a bachelor's. Compared to like data, compared to UI, UX design, these fields have kind of risen the bar to a master's degree for the most part. You could still possibly find a job with a bachelor's though. You just have to do a lot more applying, a lot more applications, etc. So we're going to get into this degree. I'm going to show you how you can hack it in 6 months. I'm going to show you the curriculum. You can hack this degree with something called ACE credits. I've gone over ACE credits in a ton of my other videos. I have a study.com video you can watch in the description, which kind of explains how ACE credits work. I have a WGU How to Accelerate video, which shows you how to accelerate the classes, which you can also watch in the description. Basically, ACE credits are the American Council of Education. These are courses you can do in a few days. They're not college credit, but partner schools can accept them as college university credit, which is amazing. And WGU is probably like the biggest partner school of these ACE credits. And basically, you can do courses in a matter of a few days on these platforms like study.com. You can do these courses in a few days. And imagine getting 3 college credits in like a couple days. And then you just do that over and over and over to the point you transfer in a bulk load of credits and you get most of the degree done before you even enroll in the program. So we're going to take a look at the spreadsheet right now. Let's get into the screen recording. Guys, we are in the screen recording here for WGU User Experience degree. So I put this spreadsheet together last night, put it on majormash.com, which you can download it from over there at majormash. So there is a 68% off study.com link, which is good till the end of summer. Even after summer expires, though, there might be some kind of discount, but it won't be 68%. But I would highly recommend you take advantage of that. So if you sign up before the end of the month, you will get the first 30 days 68% off. So here's the course list. You can transfer in. This degree is actually not as transfer friendly as a lot of the other business degrees and a lot of the other degrees in general. You can only transfer in 52 of 115. So 52 of 115, it's not that much. You're basically transferring in like half the degree, a little less than half the degree actually. And then you complete 63 at the school. But even though you have to complete 63 at the school, I think it's highly obtainable in one term because this is a business degree. It doesn't have any of those long 3 to 4 week tech classes. It also doesn't have any of those long 3 to 4 week accounting classes like intermediate accounting 2. So these are just straightforward courses. Obviously, I've not taken any of these courses, but just looking and reading their descriptions, I really don't think any of them would take longer than a couple weeks each at the most. So I really do think that this degree is highly obtainable in one term. 2 terms, absolutely. I think you should be able to get this done in 2 terms no matter what. But if you transfer in all the ACE credits, that is. And then you split these 63 credits into 2 terms. But I really, really, really do think that if school is your number one priority, you don't have a full-time job, you don't have kids, or maybe you do have those things, but you budget your time really, really well. You can get this degree done absolutely in 1 term if you work on school anywhere from 5 to 8 hours a day. So we're going to look at the courses you can transfer in. So you're going to go to study.com. You can transfer in public speaking, easy course, 2-3 days. Humanities 201, that one's a little harder. Probably going to take you 5 to 7 days because I think there is a writing assignment on that one. So the 100 level classes on study, there's no writing, but in the 200 level classes, there's usually like a very small writing assignment or small project. So history 103, easy 2-3 day course. Biology 102, easy 1 to 2 day course. And I picked Biology 102 for you guys, actually. You can pick a wide variety of science classes. Basic genetics has like one of the best reviews and like one of the easiest ratings, etc. And I love genetics, so it's like I'm kind of picking something I like myself for you guys, but you can actually pick out almost any science class and it will satisfy the integrated physical sciences. Like you can take astronomy, astronomy's a little hard on study.com though. So I picked an easy class for you guys. But if you want to take like a harder class and like a class that interests you more, you can actually pick a different course. So economics 101, I highly recommend doing that on study. That class is pretty hard. On WGU, business 101, very easy class. These are all, 5-day or less courses if you have time. Introductory business law, principles of marketing, organizational behavior, finance 104, health 101, business 120, Business 106. Like I said, all of these, every single one of these is like, if you have time, if you really, really have time to hammer the quizzes and do the final exam, these are all 5-day courses at the most. Like I said, that's if you have time to budget, guys. If you only have like an hour or two to work on these per day, these are not 5-day courses. But if you have multiple hours to work on these per day, then yes, you can hammer them out in well under a week. Project management and introduction to statistics are 2 courses I recommend on Sophia, although you can still do those on study.com. And then you have straight line, accounting 1 and 2. You can also do that on study.com. I think it's a little faster on straight line. You do 4 exams, mini exams, and then a final proctored exam. And then you have English, which you can do on either website as well. And I have that on straight line. I think it's a little easier there and a little quicker. So there's that. And now we get into the fun part, which is the classes we're going to do at WGU. And we're going to do 63 credits, and we've transferred in all the basic stuff. We've transferred in all the stuff that are not going to be relevant to your job. We've transferred in all the stuff that, like you really don't need. So now we're going to get into the stuff that you do need, the stuff that is important, the meaty part of the major, the meaty part of the degree. So we'll start with a few classes that are filler classes, which is business environment, innovative and strategic thinking, and emotional and cultural intelligence. Now, this course right here and this course right here, these 2 you can actually still do on study.com. And you can reference the WGU page on which 2 courses on study would satisfy that. But I recommend doing them at WGU because they're even faster on WGU. Like this is a 2-day course and 3-day course on WGU. So I think they take even longer on study. So you can do those on study if you prefer, if you really want to save those 5 to 6 days term time, if that's really important to you. So, but I would just recommend doing them at WGU. So here you have giving, receiving, and incorporating feedback. I think that's kind of important for user experience. You got a couple classes that might be useful. Ethics and technology and business simulation are kind of filler classes in my opinion. Business simulation goes over like a bicycle shop and how to run it. It's kind of like a fun video game in a way, but it's not going to be like useful for your job prospects or really teach you much of anything in my opinion. Empathy and inclusive collaboration, navigating complex problems, fundamentals of spreadsheets. One thing I always praise WGU on is their spreadsheet classes are very useful and you will learn a lot. Like everything I've ever learned about spreadsheets was from WGU. You learn all the formulas, you learn how to do things. Knowing how to work Excel is extremely valuable, in my opinion, in almost any job, and also very valuable for your own personal stuff. You can learn how to budget, learn how to schedule things. Excel is very, very useful, but you have to learn the formulas and how it all works. Influential communication through visual design. That actually sounds like a pretty important class. Design applications. That sounds like an extremely important class. This is one of the only classes that actually does go over probably the user design component of a UI, UX kind of job. This degree is very user experience heavy, and it's not very user design heavy. So user experience and user design are 2 different things, but usually they go hand in hand. But this degree, obviously, by its name, does go over more user experience. It's much more heavy on user experience. User design has more hard skills to it. Like you're actually designing something. User experience is it's kind of overing. It also goes over how to design things, but it's going over more of the psychology aspect, and it's going over, just also the theory of it as well. Is the best way I can kind of describe it. But this does have some user design components in it, like these 2 courses right here: design applications and foundations of design. So introduction to system thinkings and applications, defining and meaning, leveraging AI and technology in design. That sounds like a pretty fun class and useful. And it's also a user design type of class as well. So that sounds pretty useful as well. So prototyping right here, prototyping, iterating. So maybe I underestimated this degree. Actually, maybe I underestimated it a little bit. it does seem like it has quite a bit of user design elements to it, because this also sounds like a user design type of course right here. So prototyping is huge when it comes to user experience slash user design. Very, very huge. Like you're going to come up with wireframes, you're going to design it, and then you're going to execute it. You're going to put it into action. You're going to, bring it to life. You're going to iterate it, So these two courses sound like possibly the two most important courses in this entire degree. These two courses right here are probably the two most important courses in this degree. Then you got change management, which is a filler class, kind of a hard filler class at that, actually. And then you got design applied learning capstone. So, and the capstone will probably teach you a lot as well, and you're probably going to learn a lot. So I love this degree, actually. So for those of you who don't know, I do have a WGU ranking video, which it ranks all the WGU degrees. And in that video, I have computer science 1, software engineering 2. This degree would probably be at least in my top 5. And it is extremely possible that this degree could be, I would probably say, as high as number 4, but I would probably put it at number 5. This would probably be my new number 5. I would have computer science number 1, software engineering number 2, a Bachelor of Science in Nursing pre-license at number 3. I would have F&P, the master's degree, family nurse practitioner, at number 4. And then I would have this degree at number 5. So this would be my new number 5. I am a big fan of user design / user experience degrees. I think they are awesome. I think it's a really cool job, really, really cool job. Like if you are creative, if you love designing things and you don't really necessarily want to code, there's a chance you still might do some minimal coding, like 5 to 10%. But for the most part, like this is like the user design job. Like sometimes software engineer does this and there is no user design job, right? But for bigger companies, right, they have a software engineer and also a user experience user designer. Like it's separate jobs. So this is a job where you will be designing like user interfaces. You will be designing what the best user experience is. And a lot of companies, the software engineer would just do both jobs. But in this job, it's like the company is probably a bigger company. They separate the two jobs. The software engineer focuses more on coding, focuses on putting it all together. And then you design everything. You will work in collaboration with software engineers. You will work in collaboration with product managers. You'll work in collaboration as a team with like all these different positions, UX, UI designer, product manager, software engineer, some kind of lead software engineer. So you'll work as a unit. Like I said, these are usually big companies, maybe some medium-sized companies. Usually small companies do not have a user experience / user designer. So you'll probably be trying to get into a medium to large size company. And like I said, a lot of times that does require a master's degree, but a lot of times you can get in with just a bachelor's. You just got to search. My favorite job search engine is LinkedIn, although Indeed.com is really good as well. LinkedIn's job search is like really, really good. The thing is, you are going to be competing with, in this economy, there's thousands of applications for every single job. And that's why I always recommend writing a cover letter and trying to make yourself stand out any way possible. I would also make a website, guys. Make a website. Even if you don't have a portfolio, just make a website and show your biography, try to stand out. Hiring managers go through thousands of applications a day. So it's like, sometimes you will get a hiring manager that, they want the best person for the job, but they also want to see like a little personality, a little bit of being impressed by you, basically. And for people that go out of their way, cover letter, a website, maybe a video or some photos that kind of show your personality, like a good culture fit. These can all give you points to possibly get the job over other people. It's very competitive, and things that sometimes don't exactly matter, like showcasing your personality, can actually help you a lot in getting a job. That's just kind of how the world works. So I highly recommend to do all that. I love this degree. I think this degree is awesome. I think, like I said, I think I underestimated the user design part. It is a user experience heavy degree, but it does have some great user design classes, especially these two classes, which are the two most important ones in the degree. So you will learn user experience from a psychology perspective. You will learn user design and how to implement user design. You will gain the hard skills for some user design elements. Will this degree teach you as much as a top tier school that has a human computer interaction degree? No, but you're also not blowing $60,000 on a bachelor degree. Like if you go to a University of California school that has one of those human computer interaction bachelor degrees, that's a $60,000 bachelor degree. Like I would never recommend anyone pay that kind of money. For this degree, you're going to transfer in ACE credits, which will cost you, I'm assuming, less than $1,500. Not only that, a lot of you might have financial aid, which usually covers like 90% of a WGU term, although don't quote me on that. But a lot of times it does cover most of your WGU tuition. So you can be getting this degree for a very, very low cost of money, possibly under $5,000, definitely under $10,000. And compared to these human computer interaction bachelor degrees at bigger schools for $60,000. So you're saving a ton of money. You know, you're not getting like that A+ amazing curriculum, but you're still getting like, I'd give this like a solid B. I think you're going to learn a lot. I think it will give you enough to be competent on the job. Plus, a lot of things people don't know is no matter how much you go to school, you will always learn the most on the job. That's just how it is. And you do receive training at the job as well, especially if it's a new grad position. If it's labeled as a new grad position, there will be like a 3 to 6 month training process for most jobs, whether it's software engineering, user experience design, like there is like a training process. School is just to get your foot in the door, you know, like don't worry about not knowing enough. Like you'll learn on the job. Now, obviously, if they're advertising experience or advertising like something like that, then there might not be quite an extensive training period or any training period, you know. So that's something to take into consideration as well. But don't worry about not knowing enough. You know, like you'll learn a lot on the job. And it does look like this curriculum will prepare you. And if you don't learn enough from this, you can always, there's so many resources on the internet now. Like YouTube is one, Coursera is another one, Udacity. Like there's so many places you can actually learn if you didn't feel like college taught you enough, right? There's so many other resources, both free and paid, that you can go learn. Udemy is another one that has really cheap courses as well. So there's so many places you can learn to add on top of your skills as well. So I don't know how long this video has been running, guys. I apologize if it's been running too long. I like this degree a lot. I will end the video. If I helped you in any possible way, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to grow my channel as much as possible. Like I said, this degree is awesome. It's probably number 5 for me. If I ever update my degree rankings video, that's probably exactly where it would land, is number 5. I'm a big fan of user experience, user design degrees, also known as, at other schools, as human computer interaction degrees. So thank you guys for watching. It means a lot to me. And if you're going to do this degree, I would love to be updated on your progress, just because I kind of want to like live through you. Maybe I'll do this degree myself if I ever want a second bachelor's, actually. It'd be very, very tempting. But I would love to live through you guys and see your progress and like update me how the courses are. I would love to know. So please drop a comment. If you plan on enrolling in this degree, please drop a comment if you end up doing some courses here and how the courses are. So I would love to hear about it. Thank you guys so much. See you next time.